Hello and welcome to episode 386 of the Daily Sales Message podcast, where every single day I share a piece of simple and actionable advice at the speed of light that's designed to help you feel more confident and sell more stuff. If you are new around here, my name is James Newell. I teach people how to sell for a living, and for me it comes in two distinct components. It starts with having a clear sales message, has to start there. What are you selling? Do people understand it? Can you communicate and explain it effectively enough? And then secondly, you need selling confidence, the ability to be relaxed and comfortable and confident in a selling situation. In today's episode 386, we're talking about lack of usage. And this is about doing the right thing, selling with ethics and running your business with ethics. And it comes down to, you've sold something to somebody, they're not using it. So let's say use a phone contract, for example. You've got 100 gigabytes of internet to use every month, and the person is using barely 1 gigabyte of internet every month. Extreme example, I know, but let's just say that. Most companies wouldn't really care less and say, well, you chose 100, so it's up to you to police that and whatever. But wouldn't it be wonderful if that company messaged you and said, hey, James, you've got 100 GB contract with this every month. We notice you're only using about 1 gigabyte a month, so you're paying for more than you need. So would you like to downgrade to this cheaper package? And there we go. Or better still, for some that say we're not using any of it, so is it even worth it for you? Let's question this. Now this might seem a bit kamikaze, because hang on a minute, James, you're telling me to turn away buyers or charge them less, put one to a lower price package. And yeah, that's exactly what I'm telling you to do. Because guess what? Eventually, they'll look back on the last year of statements, go, blimey, I spent 500 quid on that phone. I hardly use the internet. I'll cancel that. And that'll be it. Or they'll downgrade if you're lucky. But when they downgrade, they'll probably be thinking, why didn't they tell me? Why didn't they offer it to me? So why not go above and beyond, offer this to people, monitor their usage, say, do you know what? You're not using enough of this or any of this really. So are you sure this is right for you? Are you sure we can put in a lower package, save you some money, etc.? Because from my experience in sales and selling, business and life, when you put other people's needs first, particularly in sales and selling, if I focus on you and say, hey, do you know what, James, you're not using enough, probably go on a lower package, right? Save you some money. You want to spend less. You are going to love me. You're going to be receptive to that because maybe you didn't notice it. I've saved you some money. You realize that I actually care about you, and I'm far more likely to keep you as a client than me kind of hoping you don't notice that you're spending or wasting all this money, and then maybe you'll just leave and go to a cheaper competitor because you don't feel looked after. So telling people they're not using too much, then offering them a lower package or maybe suggesting they stop working with you is not as kamikaze and suicidal as it sounds. It's actually really, really good business sense, really good customer service, because if you flip this and think if you were on the receiving end of that call where somebody said, you're not using this enough, there's a cheaper package, shall we switch you to it? You would be very grateful for that call because they've saved you money, you've done nothing. That's an attractive thing. So if that's applicable to your offering, think about that today, particularly if you charge by usage of time or units or whatever. If you have people that aren't quite using enough, can you offer to downgrade them to a lower package so they spend less money? Because they might spend less money with you, but you're more likely to keep them in the longer term. Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. Tomorrow in episode 387, we're talking about usage again. So this isn't so much people that aren't using enough of what you're doing. There's another characteristic we need to think about when it comes to usage of time or units or consumables and variables. We'll cover that in tomorrow's episode. In the meantime, if you haven't already, please hop on over to sellingconfidencescore.com. That's sellingconfidencescore.com. There you will find a 2-minute 20 question quiz where you can find out how good you are at sales or selling, and most importantly, what's holding you back, what's your number one block or a couple of areas that are blocking you, and you'll get a free simple action plan that will help you to improve. So that's sellingconfidencescore.com. Thank you for listening or watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. I'll catch you tomorrow for another slightly telling off edition of the Daily Sales Message.